speaking of a lot, so I noticed you went into Wynter's room with no shirt on.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Jay, Joy, and Simone, and we're going to talk about some of the things I told you guys. I said Jay, Joy, and Wynter as well, isn't it? Let's go again. Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Joy. We're talking also about Jay. We're going to talk about obviously Wynter as well. That love triangle or love square, because Simone's involved as well. We're going to talk about that Sigma male and the mysterious man of Jay even, and talk about how he maneuvered a certain situation where he ended up naked in Wynter's bedroom, because there's more to it then it meets the eye. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the what uploads, and we appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. All right, don't forget to grab your merchandise, baby. Send them back to manufacturer. Send them back to the manufacturer, baby. All right, cool. So, talking about obviously Jay and Joy, and also as well Wynter, I think it's very interesting. Jay clearly has a number one. Numero uno is Joy. Okay, this is why when Wynter makes a comment saying when Joy comes around, his behavior changes.
I've been back and forth on Jay. I feel like our connection is very genuine, except when Joy is around.
85 minutes later.
Hey.
Why? Because this is what I call him, the intelligent predator. The guy knows how to show more than one face. He knows how to show more than one face. And what he's trying to do is present the perfect man. He's perfect for Wynter. He's perfect for Joy. Okay, he enjoys a little bit of Simone, but that's not necessarily his mainstay. Okay, but he's perfect for Wynter. He's perfect for Joy, and he's two different guys for that. When I say two different, not necessarily different, but he knows how to present himself perfectly for Joy and perfectly for Wynter. Okay, because he's intelligent. He's thinking about everything he's doing. But there's also a downplay. The downplay is that as he's doing this, also at the same time, the person that he's doing with also has sense. you in order to play this game appropriately, because they were in a villa as well, you need a girl that's gonna be able to be foolish. Unfortunately, Wynter's she's not foolish. I would say she can be I think she is more willing and more advocating, but she's not foolish, right? So when obviously Jay is being intelligent, when he's in, for instance, the scenario where they're in the pool, he says something to her which is really
I've been back and forth on Jay. I feel like our connection is very genuine.
Clever. Okay, now when you're dealing, I believe that Jay is a Sigma male. This is why when him and Brian get into crux of things, they don't mix they don't mix the girls that they go for. I think the same reason why, obviously, when it comes to Califani, he's not interested in Denise anyway. Why it doesn't really mix either. He just does his own kind of thing, right? And so you see the independence, with Sigma males is independence, mysterious, charismatic. You know, there's some level of introvertedness in there. They're intuitive but sensitive. They can be rebellious, but they're very observant and analytical, and they got a deep intelligence, and they're self-reliant. They don't rely on anybody else. They don't need a system around them to work, right? And I believe this is where we're finding Jay at the moment, the intelligent man, the outsider, the one that's going to show a mysteriousness, right? And so you hear when he speaks to them, this man who's not shallow. When he was talking to Wynter, they were having a conversation about deep gratitude. It wasn't a shallow conversation. They spoke a little bit about emotions too. The fact that Wynter also noticed, and Wynter's on point, she noticed straight away, wow, like, hold on a minute. Let me talk to you a little bit. You mean you noticed there's a scar on my eye? Like, and he was like, listen, the fact that you noticed that, like that's mad. Like, the fact that you were on point enough to see that in me, that's real. Most people don't see that. So Wynter did something there. She showed an interest beyond. She actually managed to notice something that most people don't notice about him.
What happened to your eye right here? I see you had stitches.
Thug life. Now I'm playing. I was like, but, you know, just being a young rambunctious boy, man. So it was me and my older brother.
Which is that most people might see the money, they see the fashion, they see the good looks, but they don't take time to actually see him. Now, even though the scar is physical, it takes time to notice that, which means you're paying attention. And if you notice the response that he gives back to Wynter, problematic. If Winter's actually really smart and she listens correctly, it's problematic. Why do I say that? When you say to me, that when you say, obviously, I pay attention to you, and then I say to you, I'm gonna pay more attention to you. I'm gonna pay attention to you. Then, were you not paying attention before?
I appreciate it. I'm gonna start noticing things about you.
Don't.
You know what I mean? Nah,
Don't be like,
it's all
what's that
beautiful.
scar? What's that
No, I
scratch?
see-
You have to deep the words, you know. It's not a really big thing. It just means that he wasn't paying attention before like that. He wasn't paying close attention and details like that. Why? Because you can't. Because you have more than one interest. When you have more than one interest, it makes it more difficult to look at the most intricate details because you need time to do that. Yeah. So what he's doing, he's kind of flashing both Joy and both Wynter. He's keeping Joy, but he knows that obviously Joy is very favorite amongst everybody else. So he's being smart, trying to make sure that she doesn't, make sure that if she goes her way, he still has Wynter and he still has a good connection. You know what I mean? But both women are wholesome because remember, this guy's looking for a wife. Both women are actually very wholesome. I think Joy will probably match his fly, but she might give him a little bit more of a run for his money. Wynter is definitely sexy, but there may be an underconfidence when it comes to him and her, in a relationship. Okay. Wynter's very much aware, she's self-aware that she isn't number one because she noticed his behavior changing when Joy comes into place. That will let you know that something isn't quite right. I think it's almost similar like the Reva and the Mario and Tondi situation, where Mario couldn't really be his full self when Reva was around, right? Similarly enough here, Jay can't be his full self when he sees both Joy and Wynter. And the reason why is because he's double thinking. He's thinking about the fact that I can't let Joy think that I'm doing too much.
And Joy is around.
85 minutes later.
Hey. I'm not jealous if I know my place.
Do you understand? Because he actually likes Joy, but he knows it's a game. He has to make sure that he maintains an apparent air of power and control. Okay. So you see this when he's talking with Wynter. It's interesting. He does something which is really powerful. And I always talk about this, how your body language is important. So he turns his body. He's talking to her with his neck. Remember, I've mentioned this before with Raymond talking to Adriana. I think I mentioned it with someone else. I said that when you talk, you don't just look with your, if my camera's right here, I'm going to look at you like this. But if my camera's here, I can keep my body here and do, I hear what you're saying, da, da, da. But actually what's doing is that I'm not actually giving you all of me. Although, I mean, you're listening, yes, you're paying attention, everything like that. But when you're fully enveloped in a conversation, you let your whole body tell the story too. And so what he did is that he turned his body towards Wynter, said, he even said it, hold on, let me just turn my body. He made sure she was aware too that he was doing it. Very clever. This guy is a very bad boy.
Yeah.
Life is too short.
Instead of looking out the corner of my eye, I'm gonna look directly at you.
Okay.
Yeah. My thing is like, just say yes, man.
Just say yes.
Just say yes with the diamond in the lake.
Boy, very clever. You mentioned that, hold on a minute, let me just do this. Means that now the person has to be aware there is a change of pace. There's a change in the conversation. Because all he had to do was just like, okay, I'm just changing my position. He didn't have to say it, but he actually mentioned it, which means I want you to notice I am taking shape and form. Okay, and now he may not be thinking it consciously. It's a subconscious amount of traits that you have this. You tell the person, I'm just going to turn my body. Hold on a minute. I'm just going to turn my body, which basically means, hold on a minute. I'm listening to you and I really want to pay attention to what you're saying, which means now I'm giving you my unadulterated attention, which is going to make you feel special, seen, heard. Big boy game, I'm telling you. Yeah. And so I personally think Wynter is obviously the trouble is that we have to hope and pray Wynter does not offer sex, because if she offers it, he gonna take it. He probably gonna take it, okay, but he's gonna mess up the game. And so he has to almost take this. So what he might try and do is that he might take the sex from Wynter and try to keep it as low as possible, and wait till he's got, and then get Joy and kind of just zoom out of the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, because men are often opportunists. They don't cheat. He's not obviously a cheater, but they don't cheat because normally oftentimes they go out and cheat. They cheat because an opportunity arises.
Conversation. I'm always good for conversation.
I'm kind of feeling a certain way at the pool. He was like, no, let's talk, just give me a minute.
And Jay looks like one of those guys. He's an opportunist. He's not looking to do this thing. He's an opportunist. If the opportunity presents itself, then he'll do, right? Because this conversation that went from the pool to the bedroom had no reason to go from the pool to the bedroom. There are a million different houses and there are a million different rooms in this house. Why did it have to go to your actual individual room, her room? On top of that, you half naked. I don't like what Simone did. I really don't. But why are you half naked in her room? Ask yourself that question. What is it that you were trying to show? What is it that you're trying to prove? What is it you're trying to do? I'm not saying that anything happened. I'm saying, what is the motive behind it? Because remember, he's a smart person. He thinks about his moves. Why go into a room naked? Again, maybe you want to establish the sexual connection between the two of them. Not do anything. Just want to confirm there's a sexual connection between the two. Because remember, I told you, when a guy understands that you're sexually connected, or you want to be sexually connected with him, or you're sexually attracted to him, not physically, sexually, it's a different ball game. Now he can play the game properly.
Talk for a few minutes.
Just a quick conversation?
No, nothing funny. We just talking.
No, man.
Wynter's room is right next to mine.
Because he knows he's got you like that. If I know you're physically attracted to me, women have an ability to say, well, I find you physically attractive, but I don't need to do anything with it. When they feel like their panties are getting a certain way, yeah, because they see you now, it's different. It's a whole different level. And once he clocks that, he knows he can use you. He knows he can maneuver you around the chess piece board. So yes, let him know that you find him attractive, but the moment you let him know that you're sexually attractive, you are in trouble. You in trouble. You in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because again, he didn't need to be in a room half naked. And the reason why I'm saying that is because what you're doing is that you're actually breaking boundaries. So if I can get you in your room and I can be half naked, that means you're really comfortable with me. Not only are you comfortable with me, more than likely you are probably attracted to me. Yeah? Or the opposite end is that you don't find me attractive at all and I'm actually non-threat. But since we've been talking in a certain way, I think we have a connection in some sort. So if I'm half naked in your room and you feel comfortable with me coming into your room, one-to-one to have a conversation in your room, I'm telling y'all, the conversation needs to go there, number one. And number two, the sexual attraction is deep. You get me? And so obviously when Jay's on the couch with Joy, look how comfortable they are. That's couple stuff right there.
5 outfit changes
Girl,
today.
I had to take a shower. We were out there with the s'mores, but like all the smoke
The
and
smoke
stuff.
is now in your hair.
I have it all in my hair.
Today was hard.
So what you're seeing is a complete contrast between sexual energy or sexual tension between Wynter and Jay. He finds her sexually on point. And then you got Joy, who is the one that you really want as wifey. Many men find themselves in this position where they have a woman that they actually really, really like and actually want. And then there's a woman that is offering, I won't even say Wynter's necessarily offering sex. I'll say she carries a heavy amount of sexual energy. And I told you this from the very beginning. Alicia and Wynter, they carry heavy sexual energy. But the problem with that is the guys that they're going to go for oftentimes can see that sexual energy and then they use them for the sexual energy and don't use them for what they really want, what the girls want, which is a relationship. So yes, you can tell me I'm very sensual and yeah, and now he's not going to be with you. He wants to be with Joy. So unless Joy rejects him, you are always going to be second place because you give him the sexual energy, but don't give him the emotional intimacy that he really wants. There's something just not quite right. Yeah. And so when Jay's sitting on the couch there with Joy underneath the little bit of the duvet they got there, it's very comfortable, very relationship style. And so when Simone comes in there to disrupt, first of all, I didn't even know why Simone came over there. Number two, I think it was deplorable for her to do that, to try and almost like warn Joy, but really we don't know. I think that Simone's got really bad delivery, but I don't like that. That for me is, you rude for doing that. You didn't need to do that. Like, you don't have to do it there and then. Do you know what I mean? You could have, if you want to talk to Joy, you can go on one-to-one. You didn't need to do it in front of him as well. But what was interesting was his reaction. The way that he reacted was interesting. He was caught well off guard. He wasn't ready for it. Because what he thought was that nobody saw him go into a room. That's why he never had a response ready. He actually thought, nobody saw me go in a room. Nobody saw me go in a room with Wynter, half naked. Nobody did. So when she asked him and said, obviously, what you did in Wynter's room, the reaction.
The conversation that I had with women.
I was disappointed in Simone. I don't know where her head is, but that wasn't cool.
Oh, no. And his first reaction was to throw the thing back in her face. What do you mean? Like, you haven't even had a conversation all day and you're telling me you're going to talk to me about Wynter? That is not the question she asked, sir. She asked you, why were you half naked and what were you doing, okay, in the house or in the room of Wynter, half naked? Answer the question. Did you have a good conversation? And you asked me if I have a good conversation and you turned to Joy and said, did we? Or whatever you said to Joy. And Joy's like, I don't know, how am I meant to know? Right? And Joy's now feeling a bit uncomfortable. One, because of the way that Simone approached. And number two, she wasn't aware of this information. And now Jay is under pressure. Why? Because he didn't think that Simone would blow up his spot. He didn't think that. He wasn't ready for that. He was not aware that somebody saw him. So now he hasn't got an answer prepared. The intellectual man at this point failed to act really quickly. He actually looked really dumb. I'm not saying he's dumb. He's a smart guy, but he looked dumb. You look dumb when you turn to the person next to you and ask them whatever you asked her. That's a deflection. You look dumb. You didn't have an answer ready.
Feel like you learned a lot from it?
Did you? What she didn't know? I wasn't there, but I'm.
So you see what I'm saying about like, and this is different sometimes. When you've played the games, over and over and over the years, you always have an answer ready. There's slick guys that have answers ready. Or you tend to use manipulation as a way to get out of the situation. He tried to deflect, by saying, obviously, we hadn't had a conversation, and then tried to turn to Joy, and Joy's like, listen, I don't even know a thing. Do you know what I'm saying? He got blown up. He got blown up very, very good. And he's going to have, obviously, Joy trusts and says, obviously, he's a man of integrity, so she understands. But if anything has happened, I don't think it did, then he's in trouble, right? But I don't think he did. I hope he wasn't dumb enough to do anything to ruin his market. But now that's going to cause issue for him, because now he may be thinking, what do I have to do to make sure I keep Joy in my good books? Since Simone has blown up the spot, I've got some work to do. That overcompensation could potentially make Wynter think he don't really want me, and she could bow out. And there goes your power move. There goes the structures of power. All right. So yeah, guys, I don't know. What's your thoughts? I think Joy is amazing. I think she's great. And we'll talk about her and Edwin in another video. I think she's amazing. I think she's great. And I love that. But Jay is a very smart, calculating guy. He knows exactly what he's doing. He just wasn't ready for Simone to blow up the spot. He hadn't calculated someone had seen him. He really thought he had got away with it. And yeah. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the what uploads. We appreciate you.